Hi guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to do a double unboxing of two Samsung Galaxy tablets that became available today in the United States. We're going to take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S2 in the 9.7 version as well as the 8.0. Let's take a look. Alright, so let's go ahead and break the seal on these two new tablets. We'll go ahead and do it on each one of these. So I got this one, and then we'll do the same thing to this tablet. So you can see what it looks like unboxed. So let's go ahead and start with the 8-inch, since it'll be easier to keep on camera. And here we have our tablet. There's a little tab here on the side that we'll lift up, and this has pretty much a little bag that it's in that we'll open up in a couple of minutes to just see what the tablet looks like. We have our instruction guide, an ejection pin that we'll look at, a charging brick with a micro USB charging cable, and it doesn't look like there's much else to it. So that was our Tab S2, the 8-inch version. And now let's take a look at the 9.7. And again, here you have a little tab that you can lift. It's in a little baggie like this, again just protecting it. And inside the box, here once again we'll find our user guide, instruction guide. There is no pin with this one. You have here your charging brick and your micro USB charging cable, and both cables are the standard ones. So you can see that's a standard micro USB charging cable. Both of those, the devices are really not using that micro USB 3.0 or the 3.0 version as you used to see with the S5, so they went away from that. So that was the quick unboxing of both of the tablets. Let's talk about specs. Now, taking a closer look at the 9.7, you'll notice that the dimensions are 9.7, so it's changed. It's relatively the same size now as the iPad and the iPad Air, just from a dimension perspective, screen real estate. However, from a thickness, this is thinner and lighter than the iPad. You'll see that it sports a 1.9 gigahertz processor with a 1.3, and this is an octa-core processor. Your display is QXGA 2048 by 1536 Super AMOLED, 3 gig of RAM, and that's processing RAM, 8 gig or 8 megapixel camera front, and this is the back. Front facing is a 2 megapixel. Ultra high definition playback and what is this? High quality HD recording. 32 gigs of memory. This does come in a 64 and a 32, but the neat thing about this is that it is expandable. You can put 128 gig SD in here and expand the memory beyond that. So you can choose which one you'd like to look at from a size perspective. Here we have our 8. And the 8s, the specs are pretty similar. So you can see, once again, this is an 8-inch QXGA, same resolution, same Super AMOLED display, same processor as you saw, 3 gigs of processing memory, 8 megapixel camera in the back, 2 in the front, and then the playback and the memory is the same. Again, the unique thing about these, or not so much unique, the one thing that Samsung kept was the expandable memory. Let's go ahead and start them up, and let's see what's new. So now, before we actually turn on the tablet, I wanted to highlight one thing, and you'll notice here that there is an image of a your micro SD, and it uses the pin-based model. So if we look at the tablet right here, let's see, make sure that's in focus. It is using the cell phone type model where you put a pin to eject your micro SD. So it's not the kind where you just push it in and it snaps in. It uses a tray for that. So that's different. You have your camera right here, and the camera, once again, we went over the specs, and what you have on this area here are these 2 notches, and this we saw with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, the first edition, as well as with I think the Pro as well, where you could actually have the tablet case attached to the tablet itself. Never been a fan of it because I find that it's very difficult to remove, but anyways, that's what you see there. You have your volume rocker right here. So here you have your volume rocker, and then you have your power button. There isn't really anything on the other side, so this is also, you have both controls on the same side. And the very top, you have a pinhole mic right there. No IR blaster, so they did away with that, and there's no IR blaster in either side. So if you were someone who really liked the IR blaster, that's gone. On the bottom, you have 2 speakers. They're on the bottom now. Some models had them on the sides, so now they're in the bottom. And then you have your headphone jack and your micro USB charging right here. The sides are plastic. I was just double checking that. So or it actually feels like metal. It looks like there's a combination of plastic with a metal frame all the way around it. Okay, let's go ahead and start it up. To start up the tablet, I'm just going to press and hold the power button. And here we have the actual startup screen. Put it right there in focus. We'll let it go through the setup process. The process is going to be identical for each version, so I'm not going to do the same thing with the 9.7. So we'll right now just use this version. So first thing you're going to do is choose language and any accessibility settings. I'm fine there. It's going to look for my Wi-Fi, so let me set up my Wi-Fi. Now that I have my Wi-Fi, I'm going to go to the next step, which is accept the terms and conditions. And now it's looking for a software update. Let it go through its process. Time to enter my Google information, and so far it looks more Google-like, the experience for setup. I don't really see a lot of Samsung experience here. So let me put in my information. Now that I put in my Gmail account and authenticated, we're going through the process of restoring the tablet or going through the setup process. So I'm in Central Standard Time, which is fine. Today's date and the current time looks good. I'm going to hit next. And now it's looking for what I'd like to do. So I can get my apps transferred from another device if I'd like, or I could go ahead and take it from one of my previous tablets. You notice one of the previous tablets I had was a Tab S 8.4. So what I could do is I can actually bring over those apps to this device and not have to worry about reinstalling it. Or you can start out as if it was brand new. Some of the other things that you could do in addition to taking the profile of a previous tablet is that you could actually choose which applications you want to include and which ones you don't. So all I'm doing is just going through and seeing if there's anything here that I choose not to have included. They look like all of the standard apps that I would typically have, so I'm just going to hit OK and continue with the install. I'm actually going to take the profile of my Tab S 8.4, so we're going to hit next. Here we're going through all the backup information for Google, so we're going to hit next. And now what it's going to do is it's going to restore all my settings. The neat thing about doing this is that your Wi-Fi settings should come with it. It should also bring in all your apps, and it's just going to take a couple minutes to set up, and it will come in as a existing pre-formatted tablet. It won't not bring my files though, so none of my files will be there, so you don't have to worry about that, and everything should be fine after that. Now, one of the things I always advise, and many people forget to do this, is to log into your Samsung account. This is going to give you a critical feature, which is locate a lost device. So just like with Apple where you have Find My Phone, you do have locate your lost device. So you want to either use one of your existing accounts at Google, create an account, or sign in with your Samsung account. I already have a Samsung account, so I'm going to log in with that. Now there's a couple things that you could have done. I missed one of the screens, which I apologize for, which is the backup and sync. So you can back up your tablet also with Samsung. I have mine backed up with Google, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now at this point you could register your fingerprints, and really adding a fingerprint is pretty simple, so I'm just going to go ahead and add one. All you have to do is, I like placing my finger in various positions so that you get the best recognition. So I'm just going to do this, rotate the tablet a couple ways, because you never know how you're going to grab it, because sometimes you can have the tablet like this and you want to make sure that your fingerprint is going to work. So I just try different angles just to make sure I get enough samples of what my fingerprint looks like so that I can log in. And again, I would hold it like you would normally hold it like this, and then just use your finger to register. Alright, so we're done. So what we're going to do is continue. Oh, one more. There's a couple more. Alright, so now our fingerprints are taken care of, and now you can input a backup password. So now as you can see, my tablet has been restored. The wallpaper that I had on my previous tablet came in, and now I have the ability to download additional content and information coming from my tablet. But pretty straightforward. The dimensions on this tablet are very similar to the iPad, and we're going to do a comparison between this tablet and now the new or the existing iPad 3, the mini, right? And we'll do the same thing for the 9.7 version when it comes to the iPad Air. So hope you enjoyed this video. It was a quick unboxing and setup. We'll have detailed reviews over the next couple days. And once again, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.